Peace, everybody. It's your boy. Let's talk. We back with another video. All right, y'all. So I'm right now. I'm downtown in Rittenhouse Square and Rittenhouse Square Park right now. For all my Philadelphian natives and for those who know Philadelphia pretty well, y'all get the gist of where I'm talking about. It's around like the 1800 block of like Locust and Walnut and Rittenhouse Street and all that stuff. At one point, downtown was like my whole life. When I was in college, when I went to ITT Tech in Strayer, I was down here all the time. I was working down here all the time, like every single day. I'm actually down here right now because one of my little side gigs I do is I help a stock investor with all his paperwork. I'm like his assistant, which is like a dull job, to be honest with you. But the money is pretty good, so that's why I do it. And he's out running errands right now, and I don't feel like waiting in the condo. So I said, you know what? Let me get a nice little walk in and make a few videos while I wait on him. But if you're here, you clicked on the video, you know what we're talking about. Do America need a real life purge? I say that because I don't know. You know, I hear the talks about it. I hear people make videos on it. People make posts about it on Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff. And it got me thinking, like, shoot, does America need a real life purge? Because it seems like the attitude and the mentality of people, you would think so, because you just got so much hate with one another, with like everyone. And the Purge movies, their whole slogan during Purge time was release the beast. You know, it's been given to them by their founding fathers to, you know, release the beast. All crime is legal for that period of time. I think for like 12 hours or so. I think it started like, or 14 hours, so like 7 at night to 7 in the morning. And through that, the next day you feel cleansed and you're good, and all your anger and frustration will be let loose. That's the slogan for it. That's the whole gimmick of it, right? So the saying is, like, do America really need a real life purge? That's a conundrum for me, because on one hand, I would clearly say no, because although all crime is legal, on those Purge movies, all you really see people do is just murder. So people, mostly everybody, would just do that because, you know, your typical average person don't really know how to do a real smart crime. So they'll just resort to the best option they got, which is, you know, unaliving someone. But so I would say probably not. But then again, I've seen videos on people talking about the Purge and how to beat the Purge and what would be like the best scenario of the Purge. And most times those videos and people will talk about it, refer to it as hacking the system. You know, bringing down the system within those spans of short period of time. And if you got like some super hackers that can like work together like all year long, and then that night they can like you know, execute that plan of action, or just one talented smart person who can just do it and shut down the whole system. So even though when the purge is over, the effects will still last, and this would be like worldwide. Would that be better? And I like to say, yeah. I think that's why some people like the idea of like a real life zombie apocalypse scenario, or like some type of outbreak, like some type of civil unrest. Because, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video about that by itself. But I think the idea of it is just that people are tired of the the system. They're tired of way of life. People are tired of being tired. I touched on this in my previous videos. Like, people are tired of not being able to afford bills, food. People are tired of being bullied into doing certain things. People are tired of living in fear. It's a lot of scenarios. And a real life purge scenario, depending on how you do it, can maybe bring some type of balance to that, structure to it. I don't know how you want to call it, but maybe it can bring some type of positive more than a negative out of it, especially if we're talking about hacking the system and shutting the whole system down, or giving everyone equal amounts of funds, which would in turn still shut the system down. Like all your world billionaires and Silicon Valley trillionaires and all this government funding, it just all suddenly disappear and transfer to individuals' bank accounts all across the world, regardless of the currency. Like, that will bring the system down. So, that would be my purge scenario, to be honest with you. If I were to ever agree on doing something like that, that would be like the scenario that I would agree with. But the quid pro quo of it is that it would still be a purge, and criminal activity would still be legal. So people will still resort to crime, violence, and all sorts of other stuff rather than tech. Because you just can't, like, realistically, you can't just limit to the tech, because first of all, the government would never do something like that, because even if they did try to do like a purge scenario all across the world or America or wherever, they surely don't want nobody to hack the system to bring them down. So it would never be like just like that. And I'm sure the little, remember in the movie, it was certain like limitations you couldn't do, like you can't unalive someone who was above like a certain class of political status, or you couldn't use a certain class of weapon if it was above a certain status. I'm sure they probably would do something like that, but people wouldn't care, because if criminal activity is law, people just gonna look at it like that. I mean, people do criminal activity already and it's against the law. So if you give people free range to do dumb stuff, they're gonna do whatever they want to do. And that's what I'm saying. So it would never be just limit to tech, and it would just never be limit to just unaliving people. People would want to do whatever they wanted to do in a scenario like that. And depending on, not depending, but the way the world is looking right now, the way society is looking right now, like, it's kind of looking like a purge scenario already. So maybe if the government said, well, all right, well, let's put some structure on it and, give people some range to do certain things, but only then that maybe can, slow down the violence, to deter people from doing just crazy stuff 24/7, 365 days a week. Maybe we can just limit to this one day or this one weekend or whatever. I think it might actually can happen, because people gonna be like, people will get into some stuff with people, and they're gonna be like, all right, wait till July 7th. I got you. Well, whatever day. I'm just picking up the day, but let's just say they have it on July 7th. They're gonna be like, wait till then. I got you. So, I think it's just this a scenario that might have a little bit of give and take, but in the end, it would still end up being bad, because y'all see, like, the last Purge movie, the Forever Purge, people just got so crazed with it that they just started doing it like when the Purge was over, they just kept doing it, and it was going around 24/7, and you had like militia groups and people who had to try to leave, going to Mexico or Canada, depending on what part of the country you were at in America. If you were either in the north or the south. So I think something like that can actually happen if they did do something like that. Because, like I said, you're giving people free range to do whatever. And you got crazy people in this world. And if you give them the opportunity to do, like, unalive people, even if it is limited to a day, you know that saying, you give people an inch and they'll take a mile? People are going to do that. So, I just think that overall, should we have a purge? No, I don't think so. But the possibility, can it actually become a reality within the next 20, 30 to 50 years? More than likely, you probably can. So you never know. But maybe I'm just tripping. Let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.